This is a bookable summary of the book, Broke Millennial by Erin Lowry. Talking about money can be scary, especially when you're young and just starting out in the real world. It can be tough to make ends meet when you're already struggling to pay your bills every month, let alone thinking about saving for emergencies or retirement. But the good news is that you don't have to tackle everything at once. Starting your journey towards financial success can be as simple as taking one small step, like setting up an automatic $10 savings plan from your paycheck or switching to online banking for better interest rates. Join us as we follow personal finance advisor Erin Lowry and learn how even broke millennials can achieve their financial goals. The stress of money in your 20s and 30s holding millennials back. Many people in their 20s and early 30s find money stressful, confusing, and scary. This can prevent them from pursuing their passions and achieving their goals. Erin, the author, realized this when she spoke to her friend Lizzie, who was trapped in a boring corporate job. Lizzie was hesitant to quit and pursue her true calling because she was afraid of managing her money. Erin realized that Lizzie's experience was common among millennials. Managing your money properly is crucial to living a fulfilling life. If you don't, you might not be able to afford the things you want, and you might have to skip out on exciting experiences. However, improving your relationship with money doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as taking small steps that add up to big changes. Identifying hidden roadblocks, the key to changing your relationship with money. Managing your finances is a simple idea, but why is it so difficult to put into practice? Similar to maintaining a healthy lifestyle, compulsive behavior often has deeper underlying issues. To change these behaviors, you need to identify the hidden roadblocks that prevent you from achieving financial freedom. Your relationship with money begins long before you start using credit cards or taking out loans. It starts with how your parents or caregivers handled money when you were a child. Reflecting on your childhood experiences with money can reveal patterns that affect your current financial decisions. To begin the journey towards financial freedom, start by answering some questions about your earliest memories of money, how you spent it, and how your parents talked about it. After reviewing your answers, you might recognize a pattern of fear or helplessness. By uncovering these deep-rooted issues, you can start making actionable steps to change your financial behavior. 2 different approaches to budgeting: cash diet and tracking every penny. Everyone has different financial needs, so there's no one-size-fits-all solution to managing money. Depending on what you hope to achieve, you might prefer one budgeting method over another. For example, the cash diet involves using cash instead of cards, which can help you spend less and avoid extra fees. To start, divide your monthly budget into weekly installments and keep a buffer of around $100. On the other hand, the track every penny method involves recording every single transaction in a spreadsheet. While it may seem extreme, it can help you identify hidden patterns in your spending habits and redirect your money in better ways. For instance, by tracking her expenses, the author's friend discovered she was spending $100 on bottled water each month and switched to a refillable water bottle, freeing up $90 for other expenses. If you're finding this video to be enjoyable, show your support by liking it and subscribing to my channel for even more fantastic content. Your encouragement means everything to me and drives me to keep creating videos for you. Realistic budgeting percentages for long-term financial goals. To meet your long-term financial goals while keeping up with your monthly bills, it's helpful to budget by percentages. In an ideal world, you would allocate 50% of your income to fixed costs, 20% to your financial goals, and 30% to flexible spending. But this may not be realistic for everyone, especially those living in expensive cities. Instead, use these percentages as a goal to work toward as your income increases. Adjust the percentages based on your unique situation, but make sure they're reasonable. For example, allocating 5% to financial goals and 55% to flexible spending is not reasonable. Take a fictional example of Dwight, who lives in New York City and earns $45,000 a year. After expenses, he has $1,000 a month for flexible spending. Ideally, he should be saving 20% of his income for financial goals, but it's not feasible in this situation. Instead, he saves $200 a month and uses the remaining $850 for food and other expenses. As Dwight's income increases, he can adjust his percentages and work toward the ideal budgeting percentages for long-term financial success. Get a better interest rate on your savings with an online bank. Your bank may offer a measly annual percentage yield, APY, of 0.01%. But the truth is, your money is being used to make loans and generate profits for the bank. You deserve a better deal, and switching to an online bank can help you get it. Online banks can offer better APYs because they have lower operating costs than traditional banks. They don't have to build branches or pay property taxes, so they can pass the savings on to their customers. To find the right online bank for you, search for the highest interest savings account on Google. Just be sure to read up on the bank's fees and customer reviews before making the switch. Credit cards, friend or foe? Credit cards can be a tricky financial tool to handle. They can be beneficial to build your credit score, but also lead you to accumulate massive interest payments at the end of the month. However, it's still possible to make the most of them without exposing yourself to the risks. The key to benefiting from credit cards is to follow one simple rule. Never charge more than you can afford to pay off in full, and make sure you pay the balance off every single month. This approach helps you avoid rolling over your debt to the next month, which comes with additional interest charges. Credit cards work like a 1-month loan. You have a monthly limit to make purchases, and at the end of the month, the credit card company sends you a bill with the total amount you owe and the minimum due amount. The latter is the smallest amount you can pay without defaulting, but it also means that the rest of your debt rolls into the next month with extra interest charges. Many credit card users fall into the trap of paying the minimum amount, accumulating more interest charges and ending up with a ruined credit score and spiraling debts. That's why it's crucial to only use credit cards for what you can afford and pay off the full balance every month. Overall, credit cards can be a useful financial tool if you know how to manage them correctly. They can help you build a credit score, provide fraud protection, and offer rewards such as cashback or travel points. But if you don't use them responsibly, they can quickly turn into a financial nightmare. Why paying yourself first is crucial for avoiding debt. Saving money can be a daunting task, especially when you're already struggling to make ends meet. But according to personal finance experts, the key to avoiding a debt trap is to pay yourself first. What does this mean? Simply put, it means making savings a priority and setting aside a portion of your paycheck before you spend everything else. Even if it's just a small amount, like skipping out on a few luxuries, every little bit helps. Why is saving money so important? Life is unpredictable, and unexpected expenses can arise at any time. By having a savings cushion, you'll be better equipped to handle these situations without resorting to credit cards or incurring debt. Using credit cards to cover emergencies may seem like a quick fix, but it can lead to a downward spiral of debt and interest payments. By paying yourself first and building up a savings buffer, you'll be able to weather financial storms without ever getting caught up in the debt trap. So how do you get started? Start small by setting aside a small portion of your paycheck each month. Once you get used to this habit, gradually increase the amount you save. You can also make the process easier by setting up automatic transfers from your paycheck or bank account into your savings account. Remember, paying yourself first is not just a good financial habit. It's also a way to protect yourself from unexpected expenses and debt. How to determine the right size of your emergency fund. Being prepared for unexpected expenses is crucial to avoid falling into a debt trap. That's why it's essential to have an emergency fund that can help you stay afloat until your next paycheck arrives. However, the size of your emergency fund depends on your current financial situation. If you're struggling with debt or underemployment, saving 6 months' worth of living expenses may be unrealistic. Instead, aim for a minimum of $1,000. But if you have dependents, add at least $500 per person or pet who relies on you. On the other hand, if you're debt-free or have manageable debt, saving 6 months' worth of living expenses should be your goal. Calculate your monthly essential expenses like rent, bills, and groceries, and multiply this amount by 6. For freelancers, saving 9 months' worth of living expenses is essential due to the unpredictable nature of their income. This extra cushion can give you peace in mind during stressful times. Remember, your emergency fund should be cash in a bank account with an APY of at least 1%. Don't tie it up in investments or stocks, as you may need it quick to access it during financial crisis. By following these simple tricks, you can determine the right size of your emergency fund and take control of your financial life. We hope this video provided valuable insights and information for you. Do you think credit cards are a helpful financial tool or a financial nightmare? Let us know in the comments. And if you learned something new in this video, make sure to hit the button and subscribe for more videos. Thank you, and until next time.